Okay guys, so today I think I'll be working with the very last Autoship from the Crafter's Companion layout collection. Again, I don't know if any of these extra ones or the Autoship parts are on Crafter's Companion site itself. I know with HSN I haven't seen anything that has to do with the Autoship part. I do see that they still have the initial layout collection, and it's been on clearance for like 39 bucks for a long time, guys, and I don't know, I bought it for what, 100 or whatever it was they wanted when it was a today special. I think more than that. And I've enjoyed it. I like it. I love a good sketch. I love layout things like this. Like, this is right up my alley. So even if some of the card styles aren't really what I would do, or maybe the colors, but it's been a good Autoship. I've been liking it. You can still get ideas, right, from your recipe cards. So I've been finishing that up because apparently I didn't do like 3 through 6 or something whenever it was coming in a timely manner. So this is the last one. I want to say that means it's 6. I don't know if it's 7, but I think it's 6. It's called Celebration. All right. So recently I did a few of the other ones in order as they came, but way later. So anyway, like I said, the initial one is still available there on HSN. I'll link it, and that would be a description box. No, that would be an affiliate link, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase items. So those links, it might be embedded in the video. As soon as when you click that little shop products or shopping bag, it'll pop it up on the right, or it's at the very top of the description box. Okay, guys? So, obviously I've already gone through this because it's open like this, and generally it's not, so I must have done an unboxing of this. So single-sided papers, and then really cute with the balloons, some fun kind of confetti, stripy, florals, all these things. And then these are the colors that they had to coordinate your linen cardstock. Let's see about the dies. Okay, so acrylic stamp set with the little cupcake. I feel like I've had this image from Crafter's Companion like over and over and over many times. But I guess how many different ways can you make a cupcake, right? The balloons, the cake, and then the little gift. And then just for you, happy birthday, best wishes. And then it always has that info there. Oh, this is more of like a celebratory, like wedding kind of thing, or, whatever you want. But it definitely has rings. Obviously, you can use the champagne for different things. And then it has like a little firework kind of thing. The cake, birthday cake dies, cute. You can do some inlays on this, but I won't. And then all these things with the what's interesting about this one, it's hard to tell. I guess it's not really an inlay, but I guess you could, if you want to do that and have little holes, then you can make it a shaker. That'd be cute. But basically each of these pieces are going to cut its own piece. I don't know if you can see that. And then balloons with a little string, and then the gift, right? That has some embossing or maybe some inking abilities there. The layout collection, of course, comes with the sheet that you're supposed to stick your stamps to, and then the sheet that you're supposed to stick your dies to, which, like I said, I had never done that because I feel like they're going to fall off, so I just don't. But I just throw everything back into the original box that first comes with it. Because it first comes with a binder, all kinds of stuff, tons of dies, paper, obviously, all these things, and a couple of different, little supplies like ribbon and stuff like that. So they have this, pretty easy. You're just going to layer up the cake. So that's what I was trying to say. It's each piece, but if you run it through together the way it's layered, then you're going to have holes here, and you can make it a shaker. But we have ideas, and again, the idea of these things is that you look at it, and even if these were circles or little stickers, that it would, I guess you can use the string as a streamer, that's cute, that it would still make sense, right? So that's the whole thing about these, they're supposed to be balanced. So like if you saw it this way, if you can have it this way, you can have it this way with that at the bottom, you can have it, obviously, with the little strip to the right, and as you can see, it's still going to be balanced, right? Same thing with scrapbook layouts type things. This is very quick, kind of boring. And then again, that one's just the shape of the cake. I mean, this is very cute. Let's see. I was like, what dies do I not have to go and dig out? Obviously, they're sitting right here with me. I don't mind. But a lot of these things you have to get from the very first iteration. And so, this is kind of cute. I don't know if you see in the background, there's like little strips. That's different. I don't really feel like cutting a bunch of candles or a bunch of pennants. So a lot of these things that are very cute, they're just a bunch of triangles you know as you're cutting. I mean, these are all very kind of basic. Let's do this one just because it has a little something different, and that'll be fun. So layout collection 6, idea 12, I guess. Oh, and there's a different size too. Like, it's kind of cool. Okay, so pattern paper. We're gonna need this guy, and I am gonna have to go get the circles from the original set, which is fine. They're matte layering with, okay, so whenever it tells you to matte layer with white card or black card, you have to get those from your stash. I don't think that was ever even in the initial set. So let's do that. Let me see something. Cut pattern paper and measure, cut 5 strips of white card, yes. Attach one across, okay. Trim the end strip, okay. Mat the paper onto white card. Okay, this is what I want to know. The card itself is 4 by 8.25. So that's very interesting numbers because that's not normally what I do for a slimline. Also, I need to replace my trimmer. Yay! So, like I said, if you've watched my channel regularly, I have a bunch of videos recorded for when I'm gone on a little vacation here. We'll be gone for about a week, roughly. 4th of July there at Camp Pendleton. And so in those videos, I'm still using a rough blade. Okay, guys, I already know that because I know that. So when you see it, then don't think that I was just like not telling the truth or like trying to make cover for the paper that I'm cutting. It definitely is because I'm still using the old blade. I'm replacing it now, but I've recorded a ton of videos ahead of time from when I'm gone, and then also when I get back just to have things ready to go. But look at it, it's all gunky. Ooh. Okay, so that is trash. This is awesome. Let me grab the white and black cardstock, also some white cardstock for the card base. Okay, so step 1. And when I went to grab this white cardstock, I have a bunch of these strips, so I'll just cut these down too, possibly. But you're gonna have to make your own card base. That's kind of funky. So I'm sure you'll have strips to make, to do that with. But that's actually in number 2 when you have a card base. So let's cut this. Actually, let's go ahead and make the card base first. Attached to a 4 by 8.25 card blank. Okay, so that means you need cardstock that's 8 by 8.25, right? So that you score it at 4 inches. Which is kind of interesting, but okay. So you can cut a 1/4 inch off of this. That makes sense because 8.25 is A4 size paper, like the kind of paper they use in the UK. But anyway, so I'm gonna cut the 8 inches on the 11-inch side. Ooh, hold on, I didn't do that hard enough because it's up here. Yeah, aye. Move that over. Let's go back to 8 inches and get that where it needs to be. There we go. By 8 1/4. Which just basically means I didn't have to flip out the arm, just so you guys know. I could have just cut a few inches off. But anyway, I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off of this 8 1/2. And while the arm was out, I could have done that, but that's all right. Okay, so nice. Look at that cut. Love it. So again, you have this off-cut piece if you're making a white card base you can use for the card, the little strips that they're asking you to do. 4 inches. So, oh, okay. On the 8-inch side, guys. Let's not mess that up. So yeah, you guys know I just cut a 1/4 inch off, so that's the 8 1/4. We're going to turn it to the 8-inch side, score it at 4. So again, if you're making your own card base, 8 by 8 1/4, scored at 4 inches on the 8-inch side. So this is interesting stuff. That was actually step 2, but I'm doing it as step 1 because we need those little white strips, and I'm just going to show you a way to do that. Okay, pattern paper, 3.625 by 7.875. I guess I need to swing the arm out again. Let me move all this stuff. So we're not using any of the cardstock, at least not yet. I think you might be using it. Some of the accents. Yeah, later we use it in here, but not quite yet. So 3.625. So if it's at 3.5, that would be 3 1/2. But it's 3.625, so it's 3 1/2 plus 1/8. And I always show this to you guys up close. I like to show this to you guys up close just in case you're not sure what 1/8 is. So 3 1/2. The 1/8 would be not this one because that's a 16th. It's this one. So right in between the quarters, right? There's a quarter mark. This guy. So 3 1/2 plus 1/8. So I'm going to put it right there, which is basically 3 5/8, guys. So 3 5/8 There we go. Oh, I love it. It's so nice when you have a new blade, because the other one, I could feel as I'm cutting that it's like gonna be not great when I go to look at it. By 7.875. So 7.875. So if it was 7.75, that'd be 7 3/4. So 7.875 is 7 3/4 plus another eighth. So it's basically 7 7/8. So just shy of the 8, right? Right there. So there we go. Oh, this paper's already kind of, I guess it's already 8 1/4, right? That's interesting. So that's all it is, just that little bit. We're still going to be using this. So now it says to cut strips of white card to measure 0.375 by 5 inches. So, you know, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them basically. So let me see. This is the offcut from the card we just made. So I'm not going to use the little strips. I just want to show you how you're going to do this if you're just using the one piece that you made your card base with. So I would just cut this at 5 inches to begin with. They're giving you 5 inches because they're giving you some extra. So, I mean, if you want to use some other cardstock that still works for you, as long as it goes across, right? You can imagine this is only, it's not 4 inches wide, right? But they're giving you a little extra so you can do this nicely. 0.375. So 0.25 would be 1/4 inch. And they're saying basically just shy of 1/2 inch. So you have your 1/4 inch plus an eighth. So it's just over 1/4 inch, which is really small. And I do cut things like that on my trimmer. I think during Craftaganza, Leanne said, oh, no one's cutting small pieces like that on, you know, bring a guillotine out. Whatever you like. I'm just, you know, gonna do it here. 2. And I'm holding with my other hand. That's 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I have lots of videos for when I come back, but not too many stocked up for when I'm gone, or even like today. So I'll probably release this one today. You guys don't know what today means, but what day is today? Saturday? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna need the thing to cut some matte layers in a minute. Now, it doesn't really tell you, it just says, okay, touch 1 across the center, which again, this is kind of a funky number. So I'm just going to look at what I think might be the center. Let me bring this down a little bit. Roughly 4 inches, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this should be roughly 4, but it's 4 1/8. So, I mean, you know, so it's this line right here. Actually, I'm going to put a little marker there so I can get some glue going. And yes, it is crooked, so I'm going to straighten out my paper. You can definitely use a T-square if you're that interested, but I'm hardly ever that picky about it. I'm leaving a little bit on each edge because this is 5 inches. This is just under 4 inches wide. And I'm just kind of eyeballing what that is, the center. Because if it's, you know, again, 1, 2, 3, 4 inches, that's the very center. This is almost a 1/2 inch wide. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just kind of in here. That's the center one, okay? And then it says 2 and across at the top and 2 and across at the bottom. Trim the ends, and that's it. So not really giving you a measurement. So I'm just gonna eyeball that too. So there you go. Ooh. I'm doing this very lightly because I don't want to get a bunch of glue all over my grid here. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where that is, and hopefully this works out. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter that much because that middle circle is going to just be on top. So just going to eyeball it to make sure that, you know, this is just about 1/2 inch or so from here. That's what I'll look at for that one. See how this gap here is 1/2 inch plus a little bit? So 1/2 inch plus a little bit. I can tell that this one's actually different. If I want to, maybe there. Okay. Now I'll stick it down. I'm looking at these grid lines to see if I can kind of make them about the same. So I can see there's about 1/2 inch, a little bit, And I think that's gonna be good. Trying to see if I can cross these over the same. I don't know. It still looks a little off-center to me. But I think for as much as you're gonna see, it's not the biggest deal. Okay. So you can definitely take this to a trimmer, your guillotine, whatever, cut it off with a craft knife. I'm just gonna snip these off with some scissors. And I always like to look from the back because you can just kind of boop and you know exactly where you're cutting. If I have it like here, you might end up getting into your card base. So it's easier for me to do it this way. I already knew that glue was gonna get on there. Ugh. See, I mean, it stains immediately. I can wipe that with water and it'll still be not good. But that's okay. All right. I'll do the same thing on this side. All right. There goes that. And so now we need matte layers. Matte the paper onto white card and then black card. So again, you're going to need white cardstock. The offcut that we had wasn't going to be enough anyway to matte layer this, you know, with. So you would still need some more white cardstock. So funny enough, I did bring out 2 pieces and I put 1 piece back. Okay. 3.75 by 8. So that'll be easy. Because that's 3 3/4. So just 3 3/4 by 8. I know this paper is 8.5 inches wide, so I'm just going to cut 1/2 inch off on this other side. I'm just using the measurements over here to do that. And then black cardstock. That's 3.875 by 8.125. And again, this comes from your stash. And, oh, there go the dies. And 3.875. Okay, if we just did 3 3/4, right? 3 3/4 legitimately. 3.875 is just shy, an 1/8 of an inch shy of 4 inches. It's 3 7/8 of an inch. By 8.125. So that means I'm just going to take an 1/8 of an inch off of this black cardstock and I'm going to measure that. Ooh, that's really tight. It's the little mark, you know, I'll do it this way. That way I have all this ridge too. It's just a 1/8 of an inch. Or you can measure 8 and 8 1/8, but it's just an 1/8 of an inch on this. And that's it. Okay. So, let's get this going. Move this down. So these are really tight, and I like that because I like my matte layers to be real snug like that. It just looks more, I don't know. I just like it. But if that's hard to do, you know, do your own measurements. You don't have to go by what they're saying. You can do 1/4 inches or a full matte layer and then a 1/4 inch from there just so that it won't be too tight. I could put a little more glue up here. Totally missing the corners there. And then, yes, put this right on top of that one. As I say, I think I cut the white paper a little too long. You know what I'm saying? I could have cut a little more off that, the width there, or length in this one. Okay, and then attach it to your card blank. So all these things, you know, you kind of are eyeballing, right, when you get to a certain point. I guess I put a little bit in the middle. So that's why that white one is just a little bit longer than I would like. But that's just how it is, because you're kind of eyeballing it on the trimmer. And then there you go. Like even this to me feels a little bit long. I will say this is the paper, this Recollections paper is a 110-pound paper that I recently picked up. And when I measured it in the video for you guys, it's a little bit bigger than 8 and a little bit bigger by 11. So that's, if I took that little bit off, I didn't legitimately like measure it. Well, I guess I did. But either way, it looks funky because some of the ways I cut, instead of measuring the 8 1/4 or 8 1/2 or whatever, I was taking bits off, and that doesn't give you the most accurate measurement if your paper is already a little bit bigger or a little bit off in some way, you know. Okay, so I gotta bring out the box, which is right here. Right now I currently have this here, like I use it all the time, and I just keep shoving everything in here. So now this last pieces are not going to fit because look at this, it's overflowing, but that's how I keep it. And a lot of times people ask me, how do you do this or how do you do that? You're like, you do not want to know how I store things because, yeah, it's not good. All right, I'm looking for the circles. Those are ovals. Oh, that's cute. They gotta be up here somewhere. There you go. I was gonna say I used them recently. Now, these are really big. Nope, that's not the ones they want. They want the next size. I don't think we've ever used these real big ones, have we? At least none of the designs I've chosen to create. So, put this back. Just put it on the floor for now, next to me here. And we need this. And it says die cut 2 scalloped edge circles from colored card and 2 circles from white card. Again, white card from your stash. You know, I have that little offcut piece, but we need several of them, so I'll probably use the paper we just cut into plus this piece. Why not? We're gonna use this guy. You are gonna stamp and then die cut. Maybe I'll save that one for then because I like to stamp first and then die cut. If you want die cut and then stamp, whatever it is you like to do, obviously. It looks like it's this bigger one, right? Yeah. Yeah, the other one's way too small. So this guy, and then is it the next one? Color card, 2 circles from white card. I suppose that's up to you if you want more of the color showing in the background. I can't really tell which one they used. Let's look at it. Yeah, it looks like they used the larger one. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. But I'm eyeballing that, and maybe they used the second one. I don't know. The happy birthday is pretty tight in there, though, so I'm assuming, you know, you have to use the right one, or else this one, if it's too small, it's going to cut it off. Okay, so they used the green paper, and I'm assuming from this stash, not stash, sorry, excuse me, from the, okay, so it's not the bright green one, it's this one, which is very pretty. And you're also going to do the same thing with the purple, so I might as well grab it now. So I'm skipping a step because I'm die cutting, because we're going to need 2 of this one. And you're going to need 2, one of the purple, but the purple is also going to be the gifts, and then you're doing some inking with that, so maybe that's why they left it later. But let's do that. And I'm going to cut 2 white circles right now, and then we'll immediately basically work on the other die cutting. I'm just going to cut this down. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have those. And then I don't think I made this in a way that, yeah, I'm going to cut it from another piece. I'm going to stamp the happy birthday, which I assume comes from this stuff from where it fell. Let me get for that. Let me grab these things. Oh my goodness. Okay. And yeah, it's a big happy birthday, so it definitely is that larger. And then this guy, you can just take it completely off of this. I usually just toss this. Doesn't have any inspo anyway. And then I'll stick this to that white board that comes with the thing. So happy birthday. I'm not skipping ahead, but kind of, because I haven't really arranged these guys, because I'm figuring if we're doing all this right now, I don't want to put everything away and then do it again with the die cutting. So let's go ahead and get that all done right now. Again, how do I prep my stamps? I do not prep them, but you just saw what I did. I took it off and I used it. And that was VersaFine ink, though. I will tell you, it gives a really nice stamping pretty much always. Okay, so we need this guy. Oh yeah, that's like right on there. I'm just eyeballing left and right to see if it's kind of centered. We'll run this guy through. Okay, so with this one, we also need this, but we also need the 2 little gifts. And then we're going to ink the gifts up, but that's okay. So I'm going to cut this. And usually I try to be... How big are these gifts? Let's see. They're not very big. It's kind of a small thing. I don't think it's the biggest deal. If it falls out, you can put it back in to do your inking. Yeah, so we can get 2 of those right there. Wow, look at that. I eyeballed that pretty well, because if that's there and then I have 2 of these guys right next to each other, that's perfectly good. So I'm going to tape this so they don't move. What I'm trying to say is a lot of times you want to hold the die where it is so that you can do your inking, but it'd be very easy to place that back into that space. So I'm just gonna run these guys through, 2 gifts, plus my little happy birthday sentiment there. I'll be right back. Yeah, nice that it just stayed in there. I would say if you ink it right now, you're gonna have ink on this and whatever. So I'm just gonna ink them afterwards. Obviously I need to remove this because I need to do another one. And then that's it. We'll put our card together after we do a little inking, some gluing. Okay, so I got those and maybe this violet color. I don't know. There's some ink out here for some reason. So that one piece is still in there. And I'm just going in with a darker purple just so it's noticeable. It looks like that's what they did. This is part 4, I guess, even though I skipped ahead and did some of this, just that way everything's just done. But it says to blend ink through the die and attach to the circles with 3D foam pads. So, all right, there goes that guy. And we'll bring this one back in, and it's easy enough, again, just to kind of pop on there. That's good. And then of course you want to wipe that clean. And for me, I'm just going to grab my pajama and wipe that off on the inside of my pajamas. All right. This water-based, it'll come right out. I do not recommend doing that though. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let me clean up a little bit because there's a lot going on here. And I'll be right back. Okay. So I'm like, let me clean up. And then of course I misplaced my glue in the meantime. We're going to go back to step 3 because we need to layer those up. And it does say to add them with 3D foam pads. That's up to you because you're going to do that. You're also going to foam pad the gifts. So, I mean, that doesn't, create it. Excuse me. So that does create more height. But it depends also on the ink pads that you're using. Ink pads. Oh my gosh. Foam pads. My goodness, you guys. Okay, so I have that. My happy birthday. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say to pop this up, but you can pop this up too, right? I mean, that's all there is on this one, on this layer. But if you want to give a little dimension between those 2 layers. I'm not really rubbing that because, again, I used VersaFine. And even though I went in and die cut really quickly, it might still smear. So just leave it like that. I think I'm just going to stick mine down, guys. Especially because of the little delicate top of the thing. And again, I don't want to put too much dimension onto this card. So just put it right in the center. Of course, it's a circle. So as far as it being crooked or whatever, you can take care of that when you go to pop it down. Yeah, it's very weak. So I'm going to glue it straight down. But they do say to use dimensionals if you want. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I put it right in the center because that's basically what it said. But in the picture, and look at this. I want you to see the difference. See how it's right in the center? Is it right in the center over here? Not anymore. They brought it down because now this is going to cover it up a little bit. But oh well, what are you going to do? It said put it in the center, and that's what I did. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. All right. So I need some dimensionals. Huh. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Oh my gosh. So this is all supposed to be added with dimensional. I'm going to put some dimensionals right in the center. These are kind of thick, but I'm going to use thinner ones for the base. And they're really small, so it's kind of a bummer because I'm just going to have to put a ton of these. But I'm just going to put them strategically and not really care about it too much, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just going to put 4 each one. I guess we'll do it together since I'm here and it doesn't take very long. 2, 3, 4. And again, if you want to add glue to keep it, on there for longer, if that actually helps, I don't know. I'm not sold on the idea that actually helps because, like I said, I found a bunch of old cards or projects that I've done where this stuff just comes off, and it's this sticky little layer that comes off. It dries up and then just falls off, right? So if you have glue and then that layer that's going to dry up, it's still going to fall off, in my opinion. But, you know, whatever. So let's place this wherever you're going to place it. It looks like they're supposed to be centered in those little white strips. That looks good, in my opinion. This one probably could have brought it down a little bit lower. I don't know. It just seemed like you split the difference, right, with the spaces that you have. So I did a little bit high. But that's all right. Okay, so we have that. And then this guy. Again, it's double thickness-ish, I think. Oh, see, that really bums me out. Can't do anything about it now. So there you go. All right. Anyway, I was just thinking something in my mind out loud. I was like, oh, you can bring this up over, but I already stuck them down too. So, I mean, that's that, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I wish they would have said, like, to put them on in a way that's, you know, just lower. But it does not say that, so I mean, it doesn't say to attach them center either, I suppose, if you want to be fair, but it does look like they're right in the middle. If I had used the foam pads, obviously I could have rearranged them. And then here they brought them down and brought them up so that you would have a little room. And I'm talking about the gift, not the whole circle, right? But there you go. All right. I mean, obviously it's still a gift. It's just, I don't know. Maybe put your own bow just to do something else, like with the twine or something. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope that helped a little bit of kind of going through these things and how they're intended to be used. What those 0.125s that are added on really mean in real life. But there you go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, I'll have images coming up. I'll have links in the description box as available. And, oh yeah, so one other thing I would show you guys is this. What do I do with the rest of them? Oh, over here. Again, you have this magnetic sheet for your dies, but I haven't been using it. So I will put this on here. I put this on here. And then, you know, I just gather it all together. I still take the carrier off this. I still pop it in with this stuff. But I take all my little things like this and I pop it into the very first binder. So I'll put this thing back where it belongs. It was number 12. Okay. Get it all together. And put it in the binder. And the binder is going to be maxed out at this point. Because even at this last time, I was like, ooh, this thing is like full. I mean, there's just like nothing. So let's take this off. Let's move all this over. It is going to be within this area of like this, where it closes. So hopefully it doesn't start bothering that closure, but I think it will. Because like there's no way it's not. Okay, so we open it up by unlatching. The very first thing that happened when I got this the first time was that the latch wasn't working quite right. And I showed that in the video, and then everybody's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I was going to return it. I thought it was broken, you know, this kind of stuff. It just, something about the shipping probably knocked it around in a way that this thing wasn't in the right place. And this is different for us in the US. I've never seen this before. But I just figured it out, like where it should have been rolling this little mechanism. Anyway, so now we're going to close it up and put it all back. Very good. I mean, look at all this inspo, guys. I did do the tag of the very first time just to show you guys, but I haven't put anything else on there. Actually, that's funny that that tag is there because if I need it later, I'm probably going to forget that it's there. So that's a good thing I just noticed it. Okay. I mean, it is right on there. I don't even know that this thing fits anymore. I'm not going to shove it in there because it's going to force it. So that's going to be free on its own now. Look at this. Yay. Got it all. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye now.